So you want 2 pieces of 6 1/4 by 9 1/4. Along the 6 1/4 side, you're going to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. Do that twice, and then you want 2 pieces of 4 1/2 by 6 1/4, and along the 6 1/4 side, again you're going to score the same. So 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 3 3/4, and 5. Then rotate it back onto the short side. You'll do this on both pieces. You're going to score at 1 1/4 and 3 1/4 down to the second score line. So again, 1 1/4 down to the second score line, and 3 1/4 down to the second score line. So this is cut from a piece of A4, so it's 8 1/4 by 11 1/2, and you want to score along that 8 1/4 side. You're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8, and then rotate it so that 1/4 inch tab is at the bottom, and you're going to score at 2, 8 3/4, and 10 3/4. Okay. Fold and burnish all of the score lines, and then we're going to start putting this part together. I'd already done half, and I've put some pattern paper on that one as well. But what's going to happen is, oh no, it's going to be that way. It's going to slot in like so. So we need to do this side. So how I show you to do this one, you'll do the same. So you've got 2, and again with this one here. That would do this one first. So you're going to cut down those 2 score lines where you scored down to the second score line. I'm removing the score line, so I'm cutting to the left hand side of this one, and then I'm cutting more to the right hand side of the score line on this one, just so you've got 2 nice clean edges there. And then you're going to cut from the third score line, the end, you're going to kind of cut up so you join the bottom. So you've got that slope. You've got like a little chimney. There's the rooftop and then the chimney. You can come down if you want and then cut across. You might want to draw a line if you're worried you won't get that cut straight, and just draw a line if you need to. And then what I would suggest you do is just take a little slither off of this end here, because that is going to stick and fold inside. We want that to be nice, and we don't want it to buckle the card because it needs to be able to fold flat, and that way you know you're getting it all straight. Okay, so do that twice, and then on this one just fold and burnish, and then again on one of the sides just cut a slither away. In fact, we can stick this one down straight away. So add your glue all the way down, fold it over so you've got one panel and then the one with the glue on facing you, and then fold that one over, and it should all fold perfectly flat. If it's feeling like it's resisting a bit, it's because you've got a bit of bulk under there and you just want to cut a little bit more off, and then fold it back the other way. So now we've got, I always like the join at the bottom facing inside, and then that one's going to go in there. And now with this one, add your glue, and again fold it over so you've got a plain and then the one with the glue, and then fold that one over. Again, if it's buckling a little bit, just take a little bit more off, and then this one will slot in at the bottom like so. We're going to have a base added in a bit, but you can see now we've got this pocket to be able to add that box in, which is going to be filled with these lovely chocolate. So to decorate these, I've cut myself 4 strips of, for these pieces, 4 strips of 1 by 9. With the join at the bottom facing in, I've stuck one on that side, so I'm going to stick this one on this side here. The ones on the top, I want to cut a little angle so it follows the shape of the shadow box. It is optional, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'll show you in a minute. You can just kind of slide it under the joining part. So this one's going on at the side because you'll see all of that pattern. This paper is from an old, I know some of you might ask, but it's from this one here. It's an old, it's one of my favourite pads that Helen done. Holly Jolly Christmas paper pack. I think it was a couple of years ago now. I've used this one here, but there's some beautiful, I've used nearly all of them on previous Christmas projects. Really, really pretty. So now these ones are going to go on here, and like I said, I want to cut an angle, but if you don't want to, you can just put them on as normal and then just stick it under like so, and then you can do an angle just on that one. But I think you're not going to have like the green border, it might just look a little bit odd. So if you just pop it in there, lay this one on top, make sure you've got a nice border at the bottom and on the sides, and then just lay it down like so. I'll give you the measurements as well, but this is just me. This is how I kind of work it out. You only have to do it on one because we can use this as a template. So just come down on the left side, just over 1 inch, and then you're just going to cut from the corner down to that marker. So now when I sit that back down, I've got a nice mat layer with that same little border. Then for the next size, all you got to do is put them pattern to pattern, so you get your angles in the right direction. Okay, and then again snip across. So now I've got that one and that one. And then if you just don't fold it, but just loop it so it joins the top, and then just cut across. Let's just make it easy for ourselves rather than doing the measurements on all of them. So once I add that base one in, it's going to follow that angle, and then again. And then for the short ones, I'm going to do the same. So I'm just going to fold that way actually, so I can do the pen mark on the. Now these I might end up bringing down a bit shorter. Yeah, I think I'm going to trim this. I'll give you the new measurement actually. I've just thought. So I'm actually going to trim this down. So I don't think I've given the measurements for these ones. So these you're going to want 4 pieces of 1 by 4. And then you're going to come in 1 inch. Maybe just, yeah, it's probably 1 inch to be fine on all of them. And then again, you're going to cut from that marker to the point. And now I've got perfect one for there. These ones are going to be, actually no, it'd be 2 pieces of 4 by 1, and then 2 pieces of 4 1/4 by 1, because they're going to go on the tops there, so they're a little bit bigger. So with my other one for the bottom, again, just put them pattern to pattern and just follow the shape again. So just lay it together just so you can get an idea. In fact, what I think I'll do is stick it to the base and then stick the pattern paper on, because that way you can definitely make sure you're getting your borders all nicely lined up. You can see how it's going to look, and once that red's added in the middle, it's going to pull out the red in the paper there. So you want to cut yourself a piece of cardstock. Now you can do the cardstock bigger if you wanted to, so you have like a frame. I'm going to just keep it flush with this shape, but if you want to go bigger then you can. But this is 4.5 by 9 1/4. So you want to cut yourself 1, maybe 2 pieces if you want it to be really strong. 1 is going to be fine for me to, you know, add the chocolates, and I can put a little, maybe I might add a matte layer of the same pattern paper inside, so that when they take the box out they've got some pattern there. You could also decorate the inside of this bit as well if you wanted to, but yeah, just cut that piece and I'll show you how to stick it together. So just add some glue on the bottom there, and then just a little bit on that angled bit, just to kind of tack it in place. And again on that one, and if you do this one as well, this glue doesn't dry straight away, you've got a little bit of wiggle time. So you're going to slide that one in there, that one in there, and then the bottom. You get them all in, and then you can spend some time. You kind of want to push against all 4 corners like so, and try and kind of just put a bit of pressure on the tops of the joins there as well. So just kind of hold that for a minute until you're happy it's all secure, and then flip it over, add glue all on the back and stick it onto that piece. So you should now have something like this. I mean, you could do other things with this. You could make it into maybe a little storage. You could put your glues and your little, you know, tools and stuff and have it on your desk. I think it looks quite nice. But we're going to now add the box. So with this one here, you should have already folded and burnished all of the score lines. You've got your 1/4 inch tab here on the right hand side. You just want to cut away that little corner, and then come up to this side and cut away the top little rectangle and then the one below. So you just want to be left with one tab. That's the width of the largest section there, or the height. And just cut a little wedge off the edges there. Okay, then come back round again. So again, you've got that 1/4 inch tab on the right, and you're going to cut up all of these to the first score line. Okay, and then flip it all the way around, and you're going to do the same on this side, but you're going to cut past the first score line and down to the second. Now if you bring it all around, pretend you've joined it together. I want that join so it's in the bottom left corner. So I'm going to have, my box is going to close away so that if for some reason maybe that doesn't close quite well or it pops open a little bit, the box is going to keep that closed. So this is actually going to be my front kind of opening. These are going to be the sides. So I'm going to remove, I'm going to do this like so. In fact, I'll cut them in half, and then I'm going to open it up, and then you'll have a visual of what I've cut away. So I'm going to cut away the two sides, and then I'm completely cutting away. I'll open it up now, this back one. So now if I open that up, you should have something like that. So there's your 1/4 inch tab. I've removed all of that part, cut these ones so they're in half, and then I've just left that one. Okay, what you can now do is go back to the short ones. If I break it down like this, I think it's a bit easier to understand. Just take a little wedge off of each side, and then again on this one, like so. But now leave that one because you want that to kind of lock. You want it to be quite snug. So just leave it for the minute. You can always take a little bit off later if we need to. So again, with that coming around, so that's going to fold in and that will go down like so. So this is going to be on the top. So I want that one to kind of hide underneath, to hide. I want that one to hide all of these. So again, if I open it up, so just fold up the second one in from the bottom, and then all of the other ones, again, just take a little wedge off the bottom. It's just going to remove the bulk and you won't get any bits kind of hanging out the bottom. Now next I want to cut the aperture. So this is optional and you might be doing it by hand. I'm going to cut the frame first because I've stuck that down, but this die, or the aperture size I'm going to use is, if you go from the points, about 1 1/4 by just over 5 1/2, and I'm going to cut that into this one here, and then I've cut this piece of white card so I can create a frame. It's just under, it's about 1 5/8 by 6, and then I'm going to cut the die into that again, and then I can frame it. You might want to, like I said, keep this all as a solid box. You can add mats and layers, pattern paper onto this. So I would cut yourself 4 pieces of 1 3/4 by 6 1/2, and then you can cover all the sides there. If you want to cover the tops, I think these are 2 by 2, so I do a piece of 1 3/4 squared. But I'm going to get my aperture cut into there. I'm going to back it with some of this snowfall acetate, and then you'll be able to see the snowballs there behind. Then we can start putting it together. So just run some glue all down your tab. Again, fold it over so you've got one facing you, and then fold the other one over, and then just go back the other way. Just make sure that's all nicely burnished. That's right. And then the bottom, so I'm going to fold that one in first, and I'm just going to use the construction glue. I tend to use the quick grab for like little areas and details, and then construction glue I always use, this is Collall, you can use Beacon 3-in-1 as well, but it's really good for structures like, you know, 3D projects. It just makes them very, very strong. Just seeing there, I just stuck each one down with a layer of glue in between, and then that last one, just make sure you got it all lined up, but you'll see it just covers all of those other layers. And if you just take a ruler, you can go inside and just spread all that out and fold that in. And then this is where I said about don't cut off the edges yet, just give it a test. If it's going to be too hard, which I knew mine would be, you usually have to take a little bit off, but you just want to take a slither, just a little slither. It's usually the score line that you need to remove, and then again, but you want it to really lock in like that does, so that's not going anywhere. And then just so it's easy for the recipient to open, if you've got a little circle punch, these are really handy. You can pick them up, very inexpensive. This is a 1/2 inch one. You could use a little die as well and cut it if you're going to cut the aperture, but just cut in the middle there a little semicircle, and that way it's going to be really easy then for someone to open. So now we can pop this one inside, and it should snugly fit. The whole point, it's got to be snug. You want to hear like the air being pushed out of it. Oh, I think that looks lovely. Very, very pleased with this. So I'm going to put the chocolates in, and then I can decorate my Santa. I'm thinking, well, yeah, they should all fit, all 4 of these. What I would say as well, when you go to pop that in, if you are worried yours isn't going to fit, maybe make this first And then when you go to stick the sides down, stick them all down around this box, and then you'll know it's definitely going to fit. Because I'd hate for you to get this far and then it not work. Oh no, I think we're only going to get the 3 in. Maybe I'll have to eat these ones myself. Let's fill it to the top and get 2 more. 2 more maybe? Yeah, I think that's it. That is a nice amount. A nice amount of chocolate. I want to try and get their faces, turn their faces around a bit more. There we go. It's nice and heavy. Yeah, I think I can get 1 more in actually. I'll do that again in a moment. That's all right. 2 left for me with a nice cup of coffee. Although they're popping ones, so we'll see what those ones are like. Okay, so that is everything ready. Like I said, you might want to keep it like this. You could have a nice big sentiment across the middle. Ho, ho, ho. You know, everyone's going to be decorating it differently, and it's not just going to be Christmas. And here is the finished gift box. If I bring it up close here, can you see all of that lovely detail? I've used this fantastic product called Snowtex. I've got it here. And this gives you really good, very hard dimension. You can add colour to it if you want, but it looks perfect on his trim there on the hat to make it look fluffy. I've added some glaze on the berries, on his eyes, and I added 1 more treat inside as well. So that is nice and full now. It stands up like so if you wanted it to, but I think that's a really nice little gift for your neighbour, for a child, teacher's gift. It's just one of those, I think, quite unusual, and you can fill it with whatever you want.